All right, what's up, everybody? Week 4, $3 parlay. We're here. We made it. Ready to take a look at last week's bets and how great or bad they were.
For
Continue to
one
make
person.
bets. Yeah, for one person. Yikes. But we're here for week 4. We're gonna make some picks. We're gonna do the whole thing. Michael, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It was a great day. We had baseball starting at noon, going all the way until my Brewers are going to upset the Dodgers starting at 10. A lot of good games. We've got another full slate of NFL, maybe a little bit of cancellations for COVID, but who can complain? We're back in it.
No, I feel you. I feel like this day, this episode could have been a really happy one or a really sad one. I've been through about every single emotion you could possibly go through in a single day within about a 5-hour baseball game with no runs until the end. So feeling really good, high off of that. Coming into these picks, going to make some good ones. Going to take that good karma, that good energy, and let's roll right into it. But I mean, if we're looking here at the scoreboard, I think probably the nicest way to say this is you are completely spanking me right now. 3 weeks
in this board and also in real life.
Yes. But that's only that's not a podcast that we do yet. We're still waiting for that. Yeah, we need some waivers, sponsorship, a couple of different things to go right before we can actually take that live. But yeah, no, you've been crushing it.
You know what?
What I got.
My big winner was that Green Bay money line. I was hesitant to take it, but that ended up paying about 40% of that $16 net win. And I mean, you look at you look at the result, and really, I hit it right on the dot. I only missed one. A little bit disappointing with that Georgia Tech.
Oh boy, yeah.
-8. Yeah, I thought for sure that would be the case, and really, I mean, watching the game start to finish, we can talk about it for a little bit, but is it Georgia Tech coming back down to earth, or is Cuse a good team? Because let's be honest, I did not see that coming in at all. I didn't even see it being an 8-point game one way or the other.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
I didn't even see it. To be honest, I just didn't watch it.
Well, there you go.
I think the only explanation for it is ACC football.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I probably shouldn't have taken that one in hindsight, but I'm really happy with how the rest of my games went. You were not happy or not excited about that Pittsburgh pick, and they ended up winning. Auburn, you were also not excited about, and they ended up winning. So, I want to take a moment and just pat myself on the back, because if it wasn't for your pick in the parlay, I also would have hit that. So, thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's sabotage at this point.
Yeah, really. It really is. Yeah, it really is.
Just putting picks out there that I know aren't going to hit, knowing that it's going to ruin your $3 parlay until I see a week like this week where I'm like, I got all these picks. These are all locks. These are good. Take them to the bank. I know it's the first time I've said that this season, but man, feel good about them. I think taking a look at mine, we won't spend too much time because there's not a ton to talk about. But my Pitt Panthers, man, they covered that, and that Kansas City Baltimore game. No thanks to Baltimore, but Kansas City pretty much just about covered that themselves.
They really did. Yeah, that was a great game to watch. I actually bet the Kansas City team total on the side. That one you have to be a Patreon subscriber to get that pick access to. But that one hit before halftime, which was just a great feeling.
Yeah. Well, and I would have been a little closer to my $3 parlay if your terrible Tech Hughes pick didn't go there. So it's all right. You live and you learn, and you get a new week.
That's right. That's right. A lot of good lines out this week. A lot of good lines. I'm excited because now we're kind of getting to that point in the middle of the season where we kind of know what teams are about. You can tell if they're an upset-worthy team or whether they're just a flash in the pan. Who the really good teams are, who the really bad teams are. So now a little bit more of the strategy comes in, and let's be honest. The first 3 weeks we didn't do so well, but we also didn't know what the season was going to be like. Now we can really lock in. We can really get that bread made.
Yeah, I mean, here's the way that I see it. Right, is tomorrow is October 1st, and really the season doesn't start until October, and that's just about regardless of what sport you're talking about. I mean,
that's right.
I purposely went into a deficit these first couple of weeks to just make the comeback even greater. Right.
Right.
Some would say that you are the Atlanta Falcons of this podcast, which I'm really glad is not me in this instance, but I think you're about to blow a really big lead.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, if I'm the Falcons, I've been known to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what they call in the industry a segue. We'll just jump right into things. And we're going to take my first pick, which I think we previewed a little earlier this week, that this was the Century lock pick right here. And I think I could have said those words in a different format, and they actually would have made some damn sense. But I'm going to take the Falcons at Packers on Monday Night Football. I mean, this is a huge game. You've got two perennial, just championship caliber teams going at it in Lambeau Fields, right? Aaron Rodgers is in a healthy relationship. He looked really damn good. The Falcons, I still don't understand how they haven't reached out to the community or Twitter itself and asked people, hey, can you guys hop on Madden and we'll have you call plays during the game, because that's got to have a better result than the shit we've seen over these first 3 weeks.
You would think, yeah.
But this is shaping up to be. I mean, the Packers are in such a good position. Everybody's got them in the top 2 or 3 in power rankings. And then you've got the Falcons, who are just a complete joke. They've got a great offense, but they just can't seem to put it together. This is the perfect combination of a team that's so hot, they're flying too close to the sun, a team that's so bad, they're not going to try to win because they want the coaches fired, but yet that's what's going to do. That's the most Falcons thing of this entire thing.
Well, let's see the bet, because I don't even know.
It's Falcons money line. Falcons money line.
I was scared you were going to say that. I really thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, Falcons money line, man. I mean, this is when you talk about Falcons blowing something, right? It's always about, this is the most obvious thing. They've got it in the bag. Every other team would be able to get this right.
Yeah.
And on this should be something where they should just lay down and fire their coaching staff. But that's not what they do. They screw you every single time.
It's one of those games where it just makes too much sense. You're going to look back on Tuesday and just say, why didn't I bet the Falcons? The Packers are riding high. They're averaging, I want to say, 47 points, something like that. But their defense is giving up nearly 30.
Yeah.
They've had great wins. They beat a good New Orleans team, and you got to give credit to the New Orleans, offense and defense as a whole. They put up a good fight for the most part. But, yeah, I mean, if there's going to be a come-down game for Green Bay and a come-up game for their opposition, I feel like this has got to be it.
Oh, 100%. And, I mean, as we transition over to your side of the house for your first pick, I feel like you should just be sitting here looking at that thing and the same thing. Like, how many games have you been to in person, seeing the Falcons and Packers play, and what's happened?
Too many.
It's a ghost. They're seeing ghosts.
It's a ghost. But I will go with my pick here, just because I don't want to spend too much time talking about Green Bay's blunders in Atlanta. I'm just getting absolutely choked up thinking about it.
You just flustered.
Go ahead and let me fix my formatting here.
Let's
fix values. There we go. I'm gonna take the Cowboys minus 4.5 at home against the Cleveland Browns. To me, Dallas's offense is just hitting what it is gonna turn into, what Mike McCarthy is capable of with this run heavy, but also skilled wide receiver personnel. Cleveland, on the other hand, they're an average team. I mean, call it what you want at best. They're an average team. These are the games that Cleveland doesn't win. Meanwhile, Dallas is going to be fired up. They're going to be motivated. 4.5 points, easy enough. You take that at home. Too good to be true. Lock it in. Lock it in. I mean, not much to say. Move on.
Yeah, I think the only thing that scares me is that it's Dallas, and that inevitably the NFC East is going to end with whoever wins it, being 8-8 on the season, right? So those losses have to come from somewhere, and this is a perfect game for Jerry Jones to get all pissed off and get on TV the following week talking about how he's going to put more money in it or whatever the hell he's talking about.
I just don't see it. I don't know.
I
mean, you look at. Let me just take a few more seconds here. You look at Dallas. They're 1-2. They're definitely underperforming. But Cleveland, on the other hand, is 2-1. Dallas is 0-3 against the spread, and I think those two factors are really driving the spread down. I think 4.5 points is too easy, and it's really just going to be a 10-point win.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, talking about driving the line to go in a certain way, that's kind of what I was thinking with my next pick here. And that's actually going to be over in the college football arena of games. I'm going to be taking oh boy, if I could type, that would be super helpful. I'm going to be taking the Oklahoma Sooners at Iowa State, the recently upset Oklahoma Sooners. At Iowa State, and I'm going to take Oklahoma to cover -7. Like I just said, I think this is Vegas or really people overreacting to Oklahoma being upset in the second game of the season for them, right? It's a weird pandemic season. It's not normal. They haven't had the time to get things up and running. I have a feeling we're going to look back at OU, who was what, 3, 4, 5? I mean, they were top 5 team.
I believe so.
At the end of the season and say, well, that was just such a weird game that they played, right? And it's a touchdown. I mean, Iowa State, I don't even know if they have a quarterback. Like, I literally don't know if they have a quarterback.
It's Purdy. It's Purdy's brother.
So not the better Purdy.
Not the better Purdy, no. And they lost their first game to a bad team.
Arkansas State.
That's correct. Yeah, Arkansas State. So you
look at the upset battle.
Exactly. Yeah, both teams with heavy upsets. I wonder what this line would have been if Oklahoma had won last week.
I gotta think it's got to be 12.
I was thinking even more than that. I was going to say like 17. Add a whole 10 points onto it. Yeah. I mean, Oklahoma, right? They're a good team. We don't need to spend too much time talking about their pedigree. And what they've been able to do. But, yeah, we'll see.
I'm just a little tired of you telling me that we don't need to spend too much time on my picks. I get that they haven't been hitting, but
it's not Green Bay, let's be honest.
Iowa State is just like Lambeau Fields. I mean, I've heard that it's a shot-for-shot remake.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Actually, Lambeau was made after Iowa State Stadium.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Little known fact. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to paste, and then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to try to paste. There we go. And then fix my formatting. Go ahead. Thursday night football. Prime time. I mean, you want to keep the conversation going about explosive offenses. Don't look any farther than the Denver Broncos, than the New York Jets.
I don't want to just interrupt here, but when we were talking earlier today about potentially doing this episode tomorrow night, and I had scheduling issues, my thought process was if we could put it at 8:30, we might actually get more views than this game.
Yeah.
This is going to be terrible.
This is going to be a bad game. This is going to be a really bad game.
So what is it about the high-powered Jets offense that makes you feel so confident about taking them here?
Look, this has nothing to do with the Jets. This has everything to do with how bad Denver was last week. They got absolutely crushed by 44-year-old Tom Brady. I don't expect them to be any better now, having to travel 3 time zones over, 2 time zones over. It's a short week. I expect Denver to absolutely sleepwalk out onto the field, score a measly 10 points, 13 points, and the Jets somehow find their way to score 2 touchdowns, and the final score is 14-10. And that's it. That's it. I mean, it's just this is going to be the most boring bet I take, but
that's a 50-50 shot, really.
Well, the pick'em actually I looked at, and it was only minus 120. I got a little greedy here. I wanted to take the pick'em, but I got a little greedy. So yeah, again, I mean, when the standard is the standard, and that's what I'm trying to raise here, you can't always take the flashy picks.
Yeah, I was going to say, at this point, it feels like you're kind of showboating running into the end zone, holding the football out, high-stepping it as you're trying to go in. You're going to get tackled at the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
Or drop the football before you pass over.
Look, I mean, Denver's just a bad team now. They lost their quarterback. They lost their best wide receiver. They lost their best defensive player. The Jets, they've had their injuries as well with Le'Veon Bell and Jamal Adams getting traded, but the Jets have still scored points.
This is in the Meadowlands, right?
This is in the Meadowlands, yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, half of Denver's team's going to get carted off the field and be put on the IR.
Exactly. Both teams are 0-3. Both teams are 0-3.
Somebody has to lose.
Somebody has to lose, yeah.
Why not Denver?
Why not Denver?
That's a shirt. That's going to be the first shirt we put in the $3 parlay store. Somebody has to lose. Why not Denver? It's perfect. I love it. I love the thought process there. Let's see here. I think I'm going to go back to the professionals. They're the NFL is really like the $3 parlay of football, right? They know how to do it. They're really good at it. They've
actually been saying that for years. Yep.
I've heard that. I've got this Pats at Chiefs game.
Interesting.
I think this is just going to be one fun game, really, for everybody involved. I don't see how anybody on either team could have a bad time playing in this game. I'm going to take the over at 53. I feel like we've seen the Pats, both teams have a decent defense, but not enough to stop the schemes. And on one side, it's Cam Newton. On the other side, it's, Jesus reincarnated himself, Pat Mahomes. But I don't know. I look at this and I just say it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I don't know how this isn't Sunday Night Football, unless it is, which I don't think it is. No, Eagles 49ers is.
Which, I mean, you talk about another bad game I don't want to watch.
Yeah, for real. So I think this is easily going to be over 53. I think this is going to be, Belichick and the Giant Blueberry going back and forth with creative play calls, just running the score up. I think this is an easy lock. I mean, you've got it right here. There's 3 easy locks. Take them to the bank. Bet your mortgage on it because you're going to win it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Let's see. While you're doing that, give me one moment here. Let me get my pick ready. I'm going to switch over to the Amateur League, also known as college football, and I'm going to stick with a team in Florida. One would say the best team in Florida. It wouldn't be me.
One person would say that.
One person would say that.
Yep.
I'm going to take UCF minus 21.5 points, covering the spread against Tulsa. UCF has looked really good. They won their last game by 38 and have shown no signs of slowing down. It's UCF at home. I couldn't believe it when I saw the spread was only 21.
It's UCF at the Bounce Castle.
Correct. Sorry. Yes,
as it should be now.
Correct. I think UCF is going to get close to another 50 points that they scored last week. I mean, let's see. You look at their last 2 weeks. They scored 49. They won 49-21. And then last week they won 51-28. So they're scoring points. I don't think Tulsa has it in them to keep it anywhere close.
Could you even name a player on Tulsa's team? Probably not.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
I could only name like one player on UCF.
And he's a sideline coach for quarterbacks.
That's correct. That's correct. But I feel really good about this one. I wanted to jump on it early, because UCF has that factor where they think they need to go out and cover the spread every week, beat everybody into a pulp every week. I don't see how they don't cover this 21 points, and I think I'm going to be aggressive on it with my wager to back it up.
That's a really interesting point that you bring up there, and I want to go down that rabbit hole a little bit. With UCF always trying to cover the spread and being very, cognizant of what the spread is, do you think that as part of their recruitment process to bring their players over, they basically say, "Look, we'll give you this money up front, hypothetically, to bring you in, we'll bring you in, whatever, and then every week we will bet money online on this game, and if you cover the spread, you guys get that money." And so not only are they cheating, but they're gambling.
You know what?
I think we just figured out their success.
We need to get in touch with the NCAA immediately because there's no other way to explain. There's no other.
Yeah, we got to call Bud.
There's no other way to explain how they got this prominent so quickly.
I don't get it.
I mean, you look at the 3 stars that they're raking in. There's no way that they have a chance at these 3 stars.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think a lot of it too has to do with Michael Jordan's son going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and doing really well. But no, I get it. I think that's a good pick. I mean, you know what Tulsa spell backwards is, and that makes a ton of sense. So let's see here.
I had to read it backwards.
It's a week. The SEC is playing. This is week 2 of the SEC playing. Georgia really screwed me last week.
Ooh, okay.
2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago?
It was last week.
Boy, they're all just running together right now. They screwed me. They won by 1 point over the spread. It was ridiculous after going in a half, and it was like 7-2 or 10-2. It only got a safety. I'm sticking by your guns. When you believe in something, you stand for something, or you fall for everything. And I still believe that Georgia's offense doesn't know what the hell it's doing. They got a big game this weekend on Saturday night. They're playing the Auburn Tigers. I mean, this is the oldest. It's the oldest rivalry. It's just old, right? You get guys that remember when football was created playing in this game. So I got Auburn at Georgia. Game of the week, college game day. I got Auburn covering the 7-point spread at -120. And I think Vegas is with me on this one, based on the odds.
Yeah, I mean, I was all over this game. I was wondering if I wanted to take it as my first college football. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't. But I was looking at Auburn money line at +205, and I think you should have taken that because I think there's a very good chance. I mean, even if you're putting $1.50 on it,
yeah.
Just the chance of that coming out. And I don't think this game is going to be a 7-point differential. I think it's going to be much closer, and I think Auburn's going to be in it in the fourth quarter. I mean, we know Georgia can always run the ball well. We know Georgia can play really good defense, but look at Auburn. That's what their bread and butter is, and they have a better quarterback. Well,
they have the better quarterback because they know who their quarterback is. That's a huge benefit to playing college football.
I mean, don't ruin my secrets. I'm trying to,
But I'll be honest with you. I thought about taking the money line for Auburn here, but when you're in a slump, and you're striking out just about every at bat that you're up there, you got to get those singles. You want to hit the home run, but you got to get those singles. You got to get back up on the horse. You got to get a streak going, and that's what we're doing right here. We're playing it safe. We're going from there.
What do you think about just for little shits and gigs, the over/under at 45? I had it under.
Boy, I think it would be over.
You think so? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think under for 2 reasons. One, I think both defenses are really good, and 2, like you alluded to earlier, Georgia's offense is bad. If Georgia scores 14, then Auburn has to come up with 31. And I don't see that happening. Georgia, I don't. Yeah. I don't see Georgia being able to score 21. So I was gonna go under. And I think that's where I was leaning, maybe to take it with this next pick. But you know what? That's the name of the game, and That's what makes this pod interesting. So let me get into my
Don't
next
wear it
pick
out.
here. Don't wear it out. I will stay in the state of Florida, and I will stay with the SEC. Give me that USC at University of Florida covering the ginormous 18-point spread. Florida looked horrible at halftime. In the first half of their game, they were, I want to say, tied. Were they not with Ole Miss? I think it was tied.
They were about to be tied, but then there was some last second foolery that ended up making it a touchdown.
But they were tied going into the second quarter, for sure, and it was back and forth. It ultimately ended a complete blowout. Actually, no, that's not true. Ole Miss almost came back and backdoored it. I think if they would have scored a touchdown after recovering that onside kick, then they would have covered, which had me really nervous. But I mean, UF looks like they are a national championship contender this year. Their defense is stout, and their offense is going to be pretty good as well.
The opposite of stout, right?
Yeah. But it, just shutting down this USC team who has the new quarterback whose name I want to say is like Garcia or Sanchez. Amazing long flowing hair. They're going to be able to do everything that they need to do to shut them down. I feel very confident about this game. USC will score 17, and Florida will get close to that 50 mark again. Yeah. This will be an easy one.
I had the exact same pick.
Okay.
So I'm with you there. I feel really good about that, even if it is an 18 points.
18 points is a lot. Yeah, 18
it's
points
a lot,
is a
but
lot.
If there's a team that could do it and really piss me off and make me mad, it's going to be UF.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm with you there. Well, what I'd like to do here for my last one, I guess I'm going to go ahead and switch it on over to my side. I guess give a big shout out to one of our biggest fans, Will D. Browen, for helping us put together our newest segment. And this last pick that I'm taking here is actually going to be the tastiest pick of the week. And this is a pick that's so damn good. You just want to eat it up. Just get right in there. Take that bet. And on this one, I think, man, I got to go with the best offense in the National Football League, Michael.
And who would that be, Greg?
And that's those Buffalo Bills. Nobody circles the wagons like the
Buffalo Bills.
And these Buffalo Bills are the number one offense in the NFL and probably even in college football too. So I'm taking the Bills at the Raiders, and I'm taking the Bills -3.
Yeah, I like that line. I was looking at it.
It's so tasty. Like, look at that. It's the Raiders, and the Bills are so good. It's just, how can you not want to just look at that? If that were put on a plate with a side of some ketchup or some barbecue sauce or some ranch or something like that, I would just eat it up. It's so good. So that's it. That's my last one. Hitting all 5 of these this week. You can count it, take it to the bank. What you got?
Yeah, I like Buffalo. I like them a lot as a team. I've been saying that since week 1. I think they have, I call every defense a top 5 defense, so I'm just going to stick with this trend. I think they have a top 5 defense in the NFL, and
I've been saying defense in this game.
Correct. Yeah. But between the two teams, they have a top 5 defense. Their running game, Josh Singletary, is, I'm not going to say he's a top 5 running back, but he's a good running back. Josh Allen, great, and then adding Stephon Diggs is really just the next piece that set them apart. I like Buffalo a lot, and I think that 3 points is pretty easy.
You hit it right on the head. That's Stephon Diggs being there. That's the cherry on top.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about whipped cream.
That's it.
I mean,
oh God, boy,
Josh Allen's the whipped cream, but Stephon Diggs is that cherry.
Yep. I'm speechless at thinking about that.
You're welcome. Last, but certainly not least. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a compliment here. This is going to be a compliment, and this is going to go with the New Orleans Saints traveling all the way up to the Detroit Lions.
Motor City, baby.
Yep. New Orleans covering that minuscule 4-point spread.
Yeah.
Again, we pretty much hammered Detroit into a pummel last week's episode. Not much has changed since then. New Orleans, on the other hand, they played a very good game against the best team in the NFL, Green Bay Packers, on Monday night. Ultimately fell, but I fully expect them to have a bounce back game. With Michael Thomas, this number will probably jump. One full point, maybe 1.5, if he's going to play. Because their offense,
there's actually a math equation for it, if you really want to know.
The Michael Thomas equation?
Yeah. So this line will go up by the average distance for each of his catches in a season. So probably about 1 to 1.5 points, because his average distance, considering he's not that great of a receiver and Drew Brees is old and overrated, it's about a yard and a half. So that makes sense. I can see that.
About one, yeah. So I'm trying to jump on this line early. I think New Orleans is just absolutely pissed off about losing last week, and they're going to come out, iron out all those wrinkles that they had, and just crush Detroit.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. We were simpatico this week in a lot of these picks.
Well, that's not good, or that's good. We'll see.
Well, knowing that I'm going to go 5 for 5, you should feel good that there were some others that I felt just as good about that you ended up going with. So, that makes me feel good about the $3 parlay at least. So, segue into the $3 parlay. What you got? You need to take a look at my bets here really quick?
You know what? I'm looking at what my wild card is going to be. I think I know which one of yours I'm going to take.
Oh, boy, okay.
And
overachiever over here.
I'm not really sure. I'm looking between two, and I think I'm just going to have to kind of roll the dice here. Let me see if I have it down here. I do. Beautiful. My wild card bet, and we can talk about this while I plug in the rest of them. I'm going to take Chargers at Tampa Bay over 43. Do I expect the Chargers over 43?
43 points or average age of player on a roster?
Ooh.
Oh, no, sorry. Phillip Rivers isn't there anymore. Never mind.
I might hit both of those if that were the case.
Yep.
I'm really high on what Tom Brady's been able to do with Tampa Bay since their week 1 loss. They looked horrible week 1, but sure enough, week 2 they turned it around, and week 3 they turned it around. Meanwhile, the Chargers, really for me, this bet comes down to, can Justin Herbert supply enough points? Is he going to be able to get 16, 17 points to get this line over? Because I don't think there's any expectations, even if Chris Godwin's out for Tampa Bay, that they're not going to score points, but can the Chargers score their own points? I'm a little bit worried, and I think that's why the line is so low at 43, but definitely I'm taking over versus the under on this, and I see it going over pretty easily.
I have such a hard time going either way on a bet that includes the Bucs, because I can't remove emotions and heart from that thinking. I want to think that the Chargers are the better team, and I want to think that they're going to have an offense that's just going to go back and forth with the Bucs, but I don't know how to evaluate either of these two teams really at this point in the season.
It's hard. And again, we're at that point where we can, like I said earlier, we can kind of see what the teams are and who's a contender and who's a pretender, but we still don't have that full idea. But this is, I like this window where you can kind of jump on it. If you have a feeling on what a team is, you can sometimes get a head start on Vegas and on the numbers before the analytics catch up, just using the good old eye test.
The peepers, yeah.
Yeah, the peepers. And then last but not least, I'm going to take your last pick. I'm going to take that scrumptious.
Oh, so good.
Delicious.
I'll take seconds, please.
Please. More, please.
100%.
I will take the Buffaloes -3, traveling all the way to Las Vegas, maybe making a pit stop in St. Louis, grabbing some St. Louis ribs. I don't know. Give me -3. I'm feeling great about this $3 parlay here. I'll see you next week when I'm $25 richer.
Boy, that's throwing it all out there. I think if that happens and you're just hitting a roll like this, you might take some of your winnings, buy a championship belt, and still try to come out on top. If I don't get my act together,
I might be able to fly myself to Buffalo, order some Buffalo.
I think you could probably do that right now. Anyways, flight's
correct.
Pretty cheap.
But I can get a flight to Buffalo and get some buffalo wings with that scrumptious, tasty pick of the week.
It makes sense. So I'm actually going to take your New Orleans at Detroit pick. That's the one that I really like. Pick. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I'm taking that. I'm throwing it right there. And let's see here from my picks. Oh boy.
Now you won't take the Falcons money line and put it down, double it down.
You're damn right I won't. If I end up having to go 4 for 5 and that's the one I missed, so be it. I'm certainly not putting that in my parlay. Oh boy, I think I'm going to take the Oklahoma game.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to have something for Saturday to get me excited for Sunday. Part of me thinks it's a really good bet. Then part of me just doesn't know. So, who knows?
Who knows?
So I got that.
Not you.
And then, not me. I don't know. My wild card pick. Who am I going to take here? Who am I going to take?
I hope I can guess it.
All right. What do you think it's going to be?
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Baltimore -13 points at football team.
You're going to be so disappointed in me.
You're going to take +13?
I didn't even put the Ravens game on my list of games.
I am disappointed. I feel like I don't even know you.
I didn't like what I saw this last week against the Chiefs.
And here's the thing is that I was listening to a podcast earlier today. Baltimore does not have a win when they're trailing by more than 10 points. They're not made for these big comebacks. They're made for in your face, knock you out, go up big, and keep beating you while you're down. But I think they really got exposed on Monday night. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, 13 points. Vegas must see something. I don't know if it's for Baltimore or against Washington or a mix of the both, but I thought for sure you were going to take it and try to double down.
Yeah. Well, man, I don't want to make this pick. This is just I've got so many good ones today. This one's just eating me up inside. So I think at the end of the day, what I'm going to go with, and it's going to be my final answer, I'm going to take the University of North Carolina Tar Heels at Boston College.
Yeah, I like that pick.
I'm taking them to cover the 13.5 because this UNC team, I mean, they're right there neck and neck with my Pitt Panthers is probably, the second best team in the ACC, which is a lot. That says a lot considering the powerhouse that the ACC is.
I mean, UNC offense, no joke.
It's not. They've got a good quarterback. I mean, I think he would have looked a lot better in garnet and gold, but that's beside the point. Little bonus pick here before we go into the wagers. I can't stop looking at this Texas Tech and Kansas State game. Texas Tech went to the wire with Texas and almost won. Kansas State upset Oklahoma, and Texas Tech.
Yeah, but did you see how that game ended? They were up 14 points with like 5 minutes left, and they lost. Texas Tech was up like 14 points.
Well, that means they can score some damn points. I don't think Kansas State is good. Has Kansas State ever made a bowl game? No. Don't fact check that.
I won't.
But Texas Tech plus 2.5, that just seems too easy. But
man,
talk about what you know, and I don't know much about the Big
I think
12.
How locked in am I on your pick? I kind of want to move over and take that Oklahoma -7 as well.
Hey, neighbor, come on through.
Yeah. I'm gonna
mix it up. You gotta get some college football in there.
Yeah. Let me get some college football. Come on, share the fun.
It sounds like you got a little indigestion from that tasty
Come
pick,
on,
though.
share the pick. I mean, there can only be so much. Yeah,
it happens.
All right, so that's what it'll be.
Let's put some money on it.
While we're on my page here, we'll I'll go for it. Give me a tasty 3-piece. I always like to go heavy on my number 1.
Tenders. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's do a 2-piece on my Jets.
Da Jets.
I will take 1.5 on UCF and 1.5 on Florida.
Boy, it sounds like you are not confident in those picks.
Well, I just want to make sure that I have another $2 left for my New Orleans.
All right. Interesting picks there. Interesting picks.
Yeah, and here's the thing is, I think it takes a lot longer for college football to stabilize and kind of figure out who is what in college football, because it is such a week-to-week, I don't want to call it a league, but a week-to-week game on the college level, versus in the pro level, you can kind of feel more confident.
2 games a week.
No.
Or am I not understanding what you're saying?
I think, and with college football, it takes a little bit longer for you to figure out how good of a team is UCF. Should they be a 21.5 point favorite? Versus in the NFL, you can find out much sooner, 3 to 4 weeks.
Sounds like you're talking yourself out of some of those picks.
No, I am locked in, and I cannot wait to be $18.89 richer.
So I just was thinking of doing this. That way we don't become a math pod anymore. Boy, there's just so many good picks. I can just go ahead and tell you that I'm going to put 1 on that top one, right? It's swinging for the fences. That's incorrect. Wow. We'll fix that. I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket. I'd like that to be a nice little how do you do there.
Yeah, I mean, that'll get you a little hoo-ha there. That's fine.
I'm going to put 3 here on this Oklahoma game.
I like it.
I'm going to put 3 here. No, I'll tell you what. I'm going to do $1.50 here. Boy.
So you're at 5.5.
Look at that. That's how we do it. That is how we do it, boys. We're
really?
Swinging.
So you're really going heavy on that. You're really going to the bottom of the taste barrel on that tasty pick.
Look, the way that I look at it is, I don't know if you ever have been out to a restaurant or have like a really good meal that you like to have, but let's say you're having a steak and you really like the steak, right? It's so tasty. It's just like taking the Bills -3 against the Raiders.
Yeah.
You'll eat most of that steak, but then you'll save that last bite. Because you want to finish the meal on that. And honestly, that's the way I look at this game. It's just such a good pick. It's such a tasty pick that I'd rather put everything else out there, eat the mashed potatoes and the Brussels sprouts and everything else that's there, but then save that last piece of steak for the best part of the meal. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
There you go. Yeah, you kind of got to clear the plate up, make sure that all the juice is at the bottom. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see here. We got yours will be closer to a $20 to win. It should be actually a little bit over if my math's correct. #mathpod.
#mathpod.
So if all goes correct, you'll make up a little bit of money here. We'll see how it goes.
And then I'll hit my $3 parlay and just blow it out. So I think we got a good week. I'm excited for these picks.
I'm definitely excited. Yeah.
So,
all right.
Well, let's do that, and then we'll probably do something here in the next couple of days to wrap up. If you guys watched our baseball podcast and saw the wildcard round picks we made that I'm absolutely crushing right now, we'll probably recap those here pretty quick, and then if not, we'll see you guys next week. But we appreciate it. And good luck. Make $1 million, $3 at a time. See ya.
Cheers.